Imagine building an empire from scratch, only to walk into your own company and be told to wait outside. Because of your skin color. What happens next? Let's just say they picked the wrong woman to mess with. What she did in the next minute flipped the entire company upside down. Stay till the end, this will stun you. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more stories that uncover truth, justice, and unforgettable revenge. It was supposed to be a routine visit. Amara Whitaker, the visionary founder and CEO of NovaCore Tech, a billion-dollar AI firm based in downtown Chicago, was coming in unannounced to inspect her newly acquired regional headquarters in New York. Her plane had landed early, her driver had weaved expertly through the morning traffic, and her heels clicked sharply on the marble floor as she approached the glass doors of the 80th floor executive suite. Dressed in a fitted black pantsuit, her natural curls coiled perfectly above her shoulders, her iPad tucked under one arm, and her ID badge tucked in her purse, she walked in as any confident leader would. But the moment she opened the door, the receptionist didn't even look up. "Deliveries go through the back. This is executive floor access only," the young white woman muttered, lazily twirling a pen between her fingers. Amara blinked. "Excuse me," she asked. The receptionist finally glanced up, gave a dismissive smirk, and added, "Did you not hear? You can wait outside. The actual executives will be arriving soon, unless you're here to clean." Amara stared for a second too long, measuring the girl's tone, watching the few suited men in the lobby snicker without interference. A security guard by the elevators stepped forward. "Ma'am, we're going to need you to leave unless you have an appointment." Her expression didn't falter. Instead, she tilted her head, gave a slow smile, and replied, "You have 60 seconds to get everyone in this lobby into the main conference room, or I'll do it myself. And trust me, you don't want that." Confusion flickered in their eyes. One executive, sipping coffee, chuckled. "Who do you think you are, lady?" Amara slowly opened her iPad, tapped once, and all their phones vibrated. Seconds later, a voice echoed over the intercom. "Attention all staff, CEO Amara Whitaker is now on site. All department heads to the glass conference room immediately." The receptionist's pen dropped. The security guard took a step back, but it was too late. Amara had already walked past them, straight into the firestorm she was about to ignite. The moment Amara entered the room, the atmosphere flipped. 15 department heads now sat in cold silence, the smirks wiped from their faces. The same men who'd laughed now shifting uncomfortably in their high-backed chairs. "Let me be crystal clear," Amara began, placing her iPad on the table and clicking a remote. The screen behind her lit up with footage, security cam recordings, audio logs, and even Slack message screenshots exposing a web of racist, sexist remarks targeting the new ownership, with her photo repeatedly shared and mocked. See, I could have walked in last week and smiled for the cameras. But I wanted to see how this team operates when no one's watching. And you've all failed spectacularly." A senior VP named Marshall tried to speak. "This is absurd. You can't just—" "I can," she cut in. "And I will." She threw a file onto the table. "This is your termination package, effective immediately, for all of you." The room erupted in outrage. One woman shrieked, "You're firing us for what? For not recognizing you? That's ridiculous." Amara's voice remained calm. "No, I'm firing you for toxic culture, for discrimination, for building an environment where a black woman CEO gets told to wait outside her own building." She then turned to the HR head. "Tamara, I hope you didn't think I missed your role in all this. Telling my assistant I needed a whitening brand image to fit in. You're gone too." Tamara's face went ghost white. Outside the conference room, dozens of employees peeked in, watching the drama unfold. The receptionist, eyes wide, was quietly packing her things. Amara clicked again. A new slide popped up. "Reorganization plan, Phase 2. The future of Novacor doesn't need people like you. But don't worry, she said, walking to the door. You'll have plenty of time to reflect from the outside. As security entered to escort them out, Amara's voice followed like thunder. 1 minute was too generous. You should have known who I was the moment I walked in. Word of the mass firing traveled like wildfire. Media vans camped outside. Headlines screamed, Black Tech CEO fires entire racist team in 1 minute. But behind the power move was a story most didn't know. Amara hadn't been handed anything. Raised by a single mother in Detroit, she coded her first app in 10th grade using a second-hand laptop. She fought through every door slammed in her face, from Silicon Valley VC meetings to Ivy League interview panels, to build Novacor from her garage. She knew what it meant to be underestimated, to be dismissed, to be mocked in boardrooms while others took credit for her genius. But instead of getting bitter, she got sharper, smarter, and now she was one of the few black women to lead a billion-dollar firm. Her success wasn't just for her, it was symbolic. A torch carried for every young girl watching her on TV thinking, if she can, so can I that day. As she walked through the now silent executive floor, she wasn't just firing people, she was rebuilding an empire with accountability. Amara called an all-staff town hall. Standing on stage in front of hundreds of employees, she said, "This company will never again reward exclusion. If you believe in innovation, in integrity, in a workplace where everyone belongs, then you're safe here. But if you've coasted beyond privilege and cruelty, you're not just unwanted. You're obsolete." Applause erupted. Tears rolled down faces. The janitor she had coffee with earlier that morning beamed with pride. A young intern mouthed thank you. Novacor had changed overnight, not because of a new CEO, but because the woman they underestimated was the force behind the brand. All 3 weeks later, Amara got a letter. One of the fired execs, Marshall, was suing for wrongful termination. His lawyers argued it was a personal vendetta. What he didn't know was that Amara had planned for this. She unveiled the company's diversity audit proof of systemic bias paired with video evidence of his behavior towards staff of color. But the real twist came in court. Amara's attorney stood, holding a sealed envelope. "Your Honor," she said, "we'd like to submit Exhibit D." Inside were photographs of Marshall and another fired manager attending a private dinner weeks earlier with a competitor, Novacor's main rival, Quantum Synergetics, discussing confidential tech patents. They hadn't just been toxic. They were traitors. The courtroom gasped. Marshall's case collapsed. The judge ordered not only dismissal of the suit, but full surrender of his severance and a gag order. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarmed Amara. She smiled, but her words were calm and direct. "I didn't build this company to be liked. I built it to be just." The interview went viral. College girls posted tributes. Black coders used the hashtag Amara effect. Within days, Novacor's stock soared 27%. The new executive team, diverse, young, brilliant, stepped in seamlessly. The receptionist who had insulted her. Ironically, she later applied for a customer service position at a Novacor partner firm. Her application was quietly declined. Amara, meanwhile, returned to her Detroit high school to fund a tech lab named "The Room They Tried to Lock Me Out of." She gave one final speech to the graduating class. "You don't need permission to own your future. Just don't flinch when they tell you to wait outside." Sometimes the best revenge is walking back in and owning the room. As the crowd cheered, Amara walked off stage into the sunlight, not just a CEO, but a symbol of power earned and never again denied.